Yeah. Full court press. CJ. Yeah, what we talking about? 94 feet, crossover bodies, dropping J's up. Players, this elite, your shots on body blocking halftime. We break it down, we gon' call your bluff, it's past time. You recognize, press. We got the heat down in Florida with the keys. Guess we the best. Magic, we flash with them fans, listen, won't see the best. Show rise from the airwaves like all stars in them stairways. Local rockin', we not stopping, got hot topics like every day. Them trades hit that deadline. My team chasing the big rings, we ball, check that headline. Don't mess it up when you pick teams, the only station giving y'all that info with that real talk. Don't be trying to contest it, go toe to toe and get wheeled off. We shooting from deeper than that report from the bleachers. If you ain't on your game, then we got something to teach you. Tie your laces up, might get shook up out of them sneakers. That triple threat, bless your eardrum straight out of your speakers. Go from that black top to the hardwood, locker room to that press day. Got the scoop on them contracts, new prospects and best plays. NBA defined by the grind, in between the lines, full court pressing, finessing, read the signs. What we talking about? 94 feet, crossover bodies, dropping J's.
Good Monday morning, basketball world. This is the Around the Association podcast. I'm your host, Dave Thompson, checking in with you on this wonderful Monday morning, getting you set for a wonderful week in the NBA. Big shouts before we continue to my main man, Cam James, Trackaholics, Valor, for the intro song, Full Court Press. It's a wonderful thing. Joe, check out Cam James' new album. Check out everything Valor's got coming up. They got a whole big thing coming up for the year 2020. So, as you continue, this podcast it's a 5-day-a-week podcast that you can listen to every single day. How you can do that? You can just subscribe to the podcast. We're on every single podcasting format you're going to find great podcasts. iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict. Any place you find podcasts, this podcast you'll be finding on. Also, at the same time, check us out at Full Court, AroundTheAssociation.com, as well as Around the Association Facebook page. Yeah, the website's a little bit down. We're going to get back everything going by the end of the week. We have some great content coming out between myself and a few other writers on the site as well, too. Also, follow me on Twitter at Danny, DANNY 3 Thompson on Twitter. So, let's catch you back up with everything you missed in the NBA over the weekend. Yeah, it's been a crazy, busy-filled weekend, but a lot of the things have not changed. The Milwaukee Bucks still have the longest winning streak in the NBA at 14 consecutive games, and now their 14th victory, the 14th game of the streak, might have been the most impressive. Friday night and a potential NBA Finals match on Friday. Finals preview on Friday night. The Bucks went in and destroyed, and I said destroyed, the LA Clippers 119-91 on Friday night. Giannis had 27 and 13 points, and there was no load management this game. Giannis had a happy birthday, and it was plenty of time because this game was out of hand throughout the most of this game. The Bucks led by as many as 40 points this game in the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was. Giannis had a huge game, like I said, 27 points, 11 rebounds in the game on his 25th birthday. They also got huge contributions from Chris Middleton, 17.6 rebounds, 5 assists in the game. They had was it 6 guys in double figures in the game? Dante DiVincenzo, Pat Connaughton, and Ersan Ilyasova all were in double figures off the bench. Clippers didn't really have much from Kawhi Leonard, who struggled 5 of 14 from the floor. Paul George only had 13 points in the game. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell only had 22 points, but the real story was the Bucks bench outscored the Clippers bench, which rarely ever happens. When that happens, that's a dangerous thing. The Bucks have won 14 straight games in a row. They're the best team in the NBA with a 20-3 record. It's going to be hard to stop them because when Giannis gets going, and when he gets going, it's a freight train, just a freight train to enjoy. Giannis does everything. And the fact that he's now hitting a 3-point shot, you're asking Giannis to be different and expand his game. His 3-point percentage is now almost 32% for the season. Yeah, he's now knocking down threes. Not, like I say, I'm not elite level, but as long as he's knocking down threes and keeping defenses honest, what more can a 25-year-old kid do? I mean, the Bucks, like I said, are playing the best basketball they've ever played. It's the best basketball they've played since the championship days back in the 70s. The Bucks are the most dangerous team in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. Now look at the Western Conference. The LA Lakers had a nice 2-0 weekend. They beat the Blazers on Friday night by 23 points. Anthony Davis had 39 points in that game. And then Sunday night, well, They beat the Timberwolves by 17 points and then get 50 from Anthony Davis. Davis was the third player in this decade, third player in the Lakers' decade to hit 50 points in the game. With his 50-point effort, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. It was just the Sunday night performance for Davis was one of the most efficient 50 points you're going to find. He was 20 of 29 from the floor, hit all 10 of his free throws, and did not take one single 3-pointer in the game. And the Lakers won this game with LeBron James having 4 fouls in the first half. I mean, Alex Caruso was hitting shots. He had a career 16. James, of course, had 32 and 13. It was really just Anthony Davis and the Lakers just dominating. They now will head into a East Coast road trip. The next 5 games will be on the road with a 4-game winning streak. Now that road trip will start Wednesday against another team that has a 4-game winning streak, the Orlando Magic. Yes, the same Orlando Magic that people were wondering what was going on with this team. The Magic have won their 4th consecutive game in a row, and they took care of business on Friday night. The Magic have won 4 straight as they took care of the Cleveland Cavaliers 93-87. Now, mind you, this winning streak is not against winning teams, but the most important thing for the Magic is that they're starting to get confidence. They're now 11-11. They're back at 500. Just a couple weeks ago, this team lost Vucevic and Aaron Gordon. Gordon's now back in the lineup. Vucevic should hopefully be back soon. The Magic are still getting themselves right back at 500. They're not digging themselves too far in the hole before Vucevic gets back. The Magic will have a real test against James and the Lakers on Wednesday night. Like I said, the Lakers' next game won't be until the road trip, and then they play 5 games in the East Coast. Was it Wednesday, Friday against Orlando, Miami, and then they also play at Atlanta, and they play Indiana, and then they have the matchup with the Lakers. I remember the Bucks to end the road trip. Other teams that had very good weekends, the Brooklyn Nets. They won their Friday and Sunday contest on the road against the Charlotte Hornets by 7 points on Friday night. And then on Sunday, they beat the Denver Nuggets, who had lost both their games over the weekend. The Sunday contest was 105-102 in Brooklyn on Sunday. The Nuggets had also lost on Friday night to the Boston Celtics. Not a good road trip for the Nuggets. Are now 1-2 on this road trip. Speaking of the Hawks, they won their game on Sunday against the Charlotte Hornets, who had also 0-2 weekend. Hawks took care of business 122-107. Trae Young 30 points in the game on Sunday. Bulls fell short in Miami 110-105. Heat, of course, keeps their home winning streak alive. They're undefeated and won 2 more games. Like I said, they won both their home games on the weekend, beating Chicago on Sunday and also beating Washington on Friday night as well too. Bulls had a weekend that was 0-2 as well too. Other teams that had nice weekends, the Dallas Mavericks had to start off to a nice weekend by giving the Pelicans their worst loss ever, and then losing to the Sacramento Kings at home on Sunday. Other teams that had good weekends, the Philadelphia 76ers, they won both their games on Saturday and Sunday. Ben Simmons hit his second 3-pointer of the season as the Sixers won by 46 on Saturday, and then they took care of business on Sunday at home where they beat the Toronto Raptors 110-104. But on Simmons on Sunday had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and was 1 assist away from a triple-double with 9 assists in the game as well too. So, who had the superstar stud weekend? Of course, we're not going to take too much into it. It was Anthony Davis. 39 points on Friday night, then a 50 spot on Sunday. I mean, Anthony Davis is creeping himself right back in the MVP race. Lakers are 21-3, off to one of their best starts in franchise history. Like I said, they're the best pure record in the NBA because only the Bucks have played 1 less game in them in the actual games played column. Lakers had a 2-0 weekend as they get kicking off for the weekend. Oh, by the way, the Oklahoma City Thunder was another team that won 2 games over the weekend. Can't leave those guys out. The Thunder beat the Blazers 108-96 on Sunday, and then on Friday night they had defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 139-127. Chris Paul, it was an overtime game that was very controversial because of Chris Paul finding a loophole in the rules, getting Jordan Bell with a technical foul for having his jersey untucked late in the fourth quarter, which led to the Timberwolves' demise and the Thunder taking care of business in overtime. So let's check out the Monday schedule. The Monday schedule is a little bit lighter, Monday with Monday Night Football. There is some interesting games in the NBA on Monday night. Game of the night will be out in Indiana. Clippers will take on the Pacers, and this was supposed to be the game of the night. Remember, Clippers will probably be on load management. You won't see Paul George or Kawhi Leonard in this game more than likely. They play a back-to-back, including a very interesting game they played in Washington on Sunday where they had to score 130-plus points to beat the Washington Wizards. I don't expect to see George or Leonard, or probably both, in the lineup against the Pacers team that's starting to find its rhythm, especially in the last couple games. Pacers, their weekend was a little interesting themselves. They beat the Knicks on Saturday by 1 point after losing to Detroit on Friday night by 7 points. Other games on the Monday night schedule you're going to see, we'll go from top to bottom with the schedule wise. In Boston, the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Boston Celtics. Hopefully Kevin Love's back in the lineup for the Cavaliers, feeling healthy again. Celtics starting to get everybody back. Celtics 16-5, one of the better home teams in the NBA, had a nice little victory against the Denver Nuggets on Friday night. Cavs have been reeling and struggling with trade rumors for Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson swirling around the NBA, especially with the December 15th open access for all free agents that were signed this summer to be available in trades. I don't expect Kevin Love to be a Cavalier too much longer. In Chicago, Bulls and Raptors will head up themselves at 8 o'clock on NBA League Pass. Raptors coming off a loss in Philadelphia last night, Sunday night, and now they travel to Chicago. It's been a 3 games in 4 nights. Kyle Lowry's just getting himself back into the swing of things. Lowry coming off the hand injury. This is a game where Toronto needs this one. Actually, it's not their 3rd game in 4 nights. They play on Thursday night against the Raptors against the Rockets and lost at home. The Raptors still trying, like I said, get Kyle Lowry back in the swing of things. Lowry did shoot the ball better the other night, but yeah, like I said, we'll see how it works out. The Bulls have still struggled to find consistency. Once again, Jim Boylan is still not reaching these guys. We don't know what you can't even tell what's going on. Rockets and Kings. This game should be an entertaining, high-scoring affair. Rockets have played better at home, and James Harden scores better. So this could be a Harden 45, 50-point game. It would not shock me. The NBA TV game on Monday night will be out in Milwaukee. Like I said, the two teams with 2 winning streaks going against each other, so a winning streak will have to lose. The Magic have won 4 straight. The Bucks have won 13 straight. This should be a game where there's another barometer test for the Magic against a team, like I said, one of the more the Eastern Conference elites. The Magic will have an interesting and hard week ahead of themselves. They play Monday night in Milwaukee, Wednesday night home for the Lakers, and then also Friday night at home for the Rockets. The Pelicans and Pistons will take on each other out in New Orleans. Pelicans coming off the worst loss in franchise history. Pistons won their game on Friday night. This should be an interesting tussle between 2 teams trying to get themselves out of a hole and try to get themselves into a playoff and start getting a couple wins together so they can start getting a playoff push. I'm not sure about the Pelicans, but Detroit's in the Eastern Conference. You got a good chance with that one. 9 o'clock NBA League Pass, Timberwolves and Suns. Well, the good news is both teams are holding on to the 8th spot. The bad news is you got the Spurs, Blazers, and the Oklahoma City Thunder chasing you. Spurs, like I said, the Suns have been playing some good basketball on top of Ricky Rubio, distributing the ball. Devin Booker has been shooting the ball solid of late. Timberwolves got blown out on last night in LA, so they could not find a way to stop Anthony Davis. We'll see about Karl-Anthony Towns' availability. I say he's been day-to-day for the last couple games. Nothing serious, but he's been on the injury report for the last 2 games. This should be a game where Towns should have a huge number against a ailing Suns front line that's led by Frank Kaminsky. Yeah, big game for Towns coming. Speaking of the Thunder take on the Jazz in a 9 o'clock game on NBA League Pass. Thunder, like I said, they're coming off a 2-win weekend, 3 games in 4 nights against the Jazz, who are still trying to find Mike Conley's jump shot. The second the Jazz can find Mike Conley's jump shot, the Jazz's fortune will change, and the Jazz can go on a run. Thunder, like I said, won one of the last 2 games over the weekend, and trying to win their 3rd game in 4 nights. Last game on the schedule, Memphis will take on the Golden State Warriors, 10:30 NBA League Pass. Well, somebody's got to win this game. Grizzlies will more likely not have Ja Morant in the lineup, not sure about Brandon Clark, and the Warriors have been hurt since the beginning of the season. Well, at least D'Angelo Russell's back, and they'll have Draymond Green. If this would have been an early part of the season, great to see Ja Morant and Steph Curry, 2 of the best young point guards in the league, or 2 of the best point guards, the best young point guards, and arguably the best point guard in the league going head to head. But we don't have that. We get to see Kai Bowman and potentially Tyus Jones. Yeah. That's the basketball we want to watch tonight on Monday night. So check me out on Twitter at Danny, DANNY, number 3 times on Twitter, as well as roundtheassociation.com, as well as Round the Association's Facebook page. Check me out. Check out the website, which is roundtheassociation.com. We will have new stuff, and the site will be updated by the end of the next day or 2. We got to get some new content up. as well as with some issues with the website. So we do apologize about that. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with everybody you know. iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, every other place you're going to find podcasts. Like I said, once again, support the show. Like I said, pass on your friends. It's the best Christmas gift you can possibly get somebody that doesn't come out your pocket. So we'll come back. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday morning. Catch you back up on the NBA schedule. We'll let you know if the Magic or the Bucks will have a winning streak going into Tuesday night's games. So I'll check you guys tomorrow for Around the Association. Peace.
Trackaholic music.
Go for launch.
Yeah. Full court press. CJ. Yeah.